Hello, 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 and welcome, my Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Need to Love read for this full moon to new moon next in June 2020. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, and happy to be reading you today. We're doing something a little bit different this time around, considering the chaos of planet Earth, and particularly the United States right now. They redirected these readings this time around for full moon to new moon next, considering it is a waning phase, and there's just so much going on. So, a couple of things. Please remember this is a general read, right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Trying to keep these relatively brief. My guide said this time around it's spiritual counseling in a 6-card draw. In other words, we're just going to be pulling one card from 6 different divination systems so that you get some clues, some tips, some hints here in terms of what you need to love. That's why it's called a need to love read. It's like, what do you need to love within yourself? What do you need to love within the world? What do you need in order to experience the love that is already yours? So it's a very multifaceted thing. That's why we're coming in on the subject from different pantheonic levels, dimensions of consciousness. Levels of consciousness, probably a better way to say it. Cool. So if you are new to my channel, you might find this interesting. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I'm doing my best to put out content every single day. Being an empath during this time, hey, you're a Scorpio, you probably know what I mean. It's like crazy. My morning spiritual prayer work has been very tear-laden and heartbreaking for all of humanity. So getting these out as I can, you can understand, but that's why I think these will be truly, truly helpful, particularly for the water signs. Cool. So let's dive in. By the way, we're looking at full moon Friday, June 5th, full moon in Sagittarius, to the new moon Sunday, June 21st, which is also Father's Day, which is a little weird because the day before it is Letha, summer solstice. So we'll be going through dark moon at the same time it's full sun. So there's something there. Not sure exactly what that is, but we got time to look at that. But this is the reading for this full moon to that new moon. So let's see what pops up. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. One sec. Coffee. To get you the voices of all of the pantheons at once. Just remember to breathe. I will do the same. That keeps us all in the present moment, where I can bring through the clarity, guidance, and grace that I've been trained to do my whole life. And so that you can feel on your end what resonates, what doesn't. Cool? Let's do this. Nice deep breath. For my Scorpios, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity. What is the perfect archetype card to represent the soul power that needs to be loved for this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, this full moon in Sagittarius to new moon next in Cancer? What do they need to love in this pattern, the lead to gold, the shadow to light, for this full moon, June 2020, this full moon to new moon. The eternal child, Peter Pan, essentially. Interesting archetype. The eternal child does not pop up as often as you think it would. The shadow attributes, inability to grow up and be responsible, just comes with the child archetype in all of its different forms. This is just one. Everybody has the child archetype. It's a member of the survival family of archetypes, which everybody has. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. I mean, that's understandable for a small child, but the eternal child, as the adult evolves, obviously there's some lead there to be alchemized into gold. The light attribute, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. And there is such a piece of innocence there. So look, right off the bat, if we're looking at what needs to be loved, we're looking at inner child work. I mean, we could just say, okay, call it a reading. There it is, first card down. But it's not just the inner child when it's the eternal child. That is a piece of the life force, if you will, the soul expressing itself in this ability to always renew, to always see things through fresh eyes, the innocence of your heart that is brave and willing to love and to risk and to fly free, right? It's a beautiful part of it, but at the same time, it comes with that the inability to grow up and be responsible. So it's the more you alchemize the shadow, the more room there is for that light of that innocence to be there. So all archetypes are tricky in their light and their shadow balance. That's just how it goes. But thankfully, we've got another pantheon to ask. The Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue's deck. Let's ask her, what is the angel that's helping heal that eternal child within you? Breathe. Even if you're not the one with the eternal child archetype, like maybe you're dealing with somebody who has is an eternal child in that sense in your energy field for this full moon to new moon next, a waning side of things. So please, my angels, for the Scorpio collective, what is the perfect healing angel for them this full moon in Sagittarius to new moon next in Cancer, June 2020, the guardian angel. Now look, when you put the guardian angel and the child together, that is such a traditional image, right? The idea of the guardian angel hovering over a small child. The thing about this is that the guardian angel, in my experience, is the higher self, not just the soul, the higher self. There is a difference between the soul and the higher self. Difference of wattage, I guess, maybe, at least in my experience, right? So this thing about doing inner child work as being your higher self, like literally talking to the child of your heart, giving it the love that only you can give it, but playing the role of the guardian angel is just... it's just a different level of spiritual healing. Like they said this time around with these reads that it would be like spiritual counseling in a 6-card draw, and it is. So absolutely turn to your higher self. Call it whatever you want. Your higher self will take on whatever form or shape necessary to communicate with you, loves you, understands you, knows your psychology better than you do, right? It's your higher self. And we are all connected on that level as well. So for that eternal child to feel guarded, because when the child feels safe, right, then that innocence can really expand. But in the world that we're in right now, that's just the physical part of it, right? Extreme dependency on others for physical security. I get it. Let's ask the goddesses in particular. This is a lunar thing, right? Full moon to new moon next. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the voices of the divine yin. Breathe. There you are. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs this full moon in Sagittarius to new moon next in Cancer. What do they need to love? Right? Because the collective is saying the eternal child needs to be loved. Like, that's clear. That the guardian angel is there to help in that eternal child experiencing the love that only the higher self can give the soul, the personality can give the child, that sort of deal there. So my goddesses, please, a piece of tarot. Can you give us a little oversight, a little piece of the picture, an eagle eye view here for this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, full to new, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. Now look, 2 of Cups. It's the love card. Well, it is the emotional attraction card, certainly. So hope springs eternal, and certainly does the hope of a romantic hookup for a Scorpio, one would think. However, of course, that can be the initial movement and whirlpool that is called the whirlpool in this deck, this movement of energy within yourself in terms of giving yourself the love that you need. You know, the 2 of Cups is about a relationship, one cup in relationship to another, that in this deck are caught in a whirlpool, getting closer and closer and closer and closer, but not until their moment that they're supposed to meet are they going to meet, right? So it's not a 10, it's a 2. So definitely something in play here. If there is a romantic overtone to this going on, then the child really, 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 really needs the love, because right now so much of the pain that I'm witnessing on planet Earth, not just through the news but empathically, that at the core of this is all inner child stuff going on. It's just hurt children hurting children. Well, it hurt children in adult bodies hurting other children in adult bodies, and it's been that way apparently for a very, very long time. So your healing here might very well be of benefit to the well-being of all. Just the quantum entanglement of humanity and what we're going through. You feeling me? Fifth dimensional unity consciousness. This is it, folks. This comes with. So let's ask the Ascended Masters in these next two decks. We've got the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack here. 4 suits. Half the deck, the suit of the problem, because it's good to know the problem, although we affectionately call them the womp womp cards. Womp womp. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Womp womp. Problem. The other half of the deck is the suit of luck, the suit of grace, and the suit of healing, which balance it out. Let's see what you get from the Ascended Masters. Everybody breathe. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. This full moon in Sagittarius to new moon next in Cancer, please, for June 2020. This eternal child, I get it. With the guardian angel, I get that. With that 2 of Cups, that's an interesting twist. So please, a piece of the problem, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, or a piece of healing. You're giving us a piece of luck. Irresistibility. Now that's what I mean by needing a card clarified, all right? So your heart is being called forward in a whirlpool centrifugal force. Centrifugal is going in. Centrifugal, centripetal. I forget at the moment which is which. Drag me for that if you're going to drag me for something. Yeah, an irresistible force, right? Irresistible force, immovable object. I've always said if I have the choice between the two, I'd rather be the irresistible force. Because at least I'd get to be irresistible. Oh, I've had so many irresistible force, immovable object relationships. It's just like being the storm battering against the mountain. Eventually, you blow away and move on. The irresistibility in that 2 of Cups there, I get it, but your eternal child might not be feeling too safe with all of this. So let's, particularly what's irresistible to a child? Anything that it wants. It's irresistible to a child. But with that eternal child, though, it can be like seeing things through new eyes. It could be the return of something, right? So that guardian angel, let's go with the Ascended Masters one more time with the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. I find this one very, very helpful. This deck in general, right? It gives you something to contemplate, not just repeat like an affirmation. It's not really an affirmation, it's a mantra. It's like signaling the ego, taking it and working it, signaling the soul. It's like, okay, I'm ready to heal this, or at least I'm willing to, right? So let's see what we can do. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity. The perfect healing mantra for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What do you got for them? This full moon in Sagittarius to new moon in Cancer, June 2020. We've got the eternal child with the guardian angel, the 2 of Cups whirlpool with irresistibility. What is their perfect healing mantra for this full moon to new moon next June 2020? Embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. I'm telling ya. I think you got the romantic one of the set this time, although maybe one of the previous ones had a touch of that as well. Embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. I have a right to be excited. Of course I'm going to read that one for you. That's really, really cool. And that child, you see what I'm saying? It's like, yee! I have a right to be excited. Well, we'll just see about that, young man, young lady. Hold on a second. Come on, it's alphabetical. It's embodying my soul. Here we go. I have a right to be excited. and you do. When your soul is embodied, you are grateful to be alive. You are aware of life as a precious opportunity to experience the frequency of your own light through the unique attributes, characteristics, and senses of a person. In other words, it's really, truly a soul experience. Your soul is embodied in the physical body, and you experience yourself as the quantum field experiencing itself through a very specific set of stuff called your personality, right? The body and the personality, the role that you're playing. As your soul becomes embodied, you are elated to be part of the cosmic play, no matter how bad things seem. Yeah, I've had moments of that in this life, but this might be a worthwhile mantra to work for like a month. This mantra is ideal for developing courage, finding your inner voice, and feeling safe in your body. I have a right to be excited. That's really lovely. And, you know, safety in this sense, right? Like, because what's the shadow side of this? Extreme dependence on others for physical security. Might this also be about emotional security? Well, let's see what the Whispers of Love Oracle, which I consecrate for the voices of the higher selves of all involved to communicate through. Let's see what they have to say in the 6th of your spiritual counseling 6-card draw. Nice deep breath, please. Higher selves of all involved, please, 1 card in clarity for the Scorpio collective Sun Moon. There you go, Sun Moon Rising Venus signs. This full moon in Sagittarius to new moon next in Cancer. What have you got for them, please? Just 1 card in clarity, the Whisper of Love, because really you put this all together, the eternal child and the guardian angel with this irresistible 2 of Cups whirlpooling love going through the situation and having the right to be excited. Please, what is from the highest higher self available, 5th dimensional and above, the Whisper of Love that you've got for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon to new moon next? Listen with your heart. You are listening to what is being said to you, but you need to listen with a loving heart. And that is not the easiest thing to do in our current, let's say, psychic climate. The current psychic climate that we are in, there's a lot of talking about having conversations, but those conversations are incredibly uncomfortable. To listen with your heart, to not just hear what someone's saying, but really open your heart. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but there's something here about you have this right to be excited. So listen with your heart. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if you do that, you'll kind of get that thing that you have a right to be excited over an irresistible 2 of Cups. Come on, everybody says 2 of Cups is the romance card, and granted it can be, but it's just the beginning of the cycle, right? It's a 2. It's not a 10. So to really make sure you've got a guardian, angelic guardian, watching your inner child, I would say in any of its shapes or forms. In this deck, there isn't just 1 card called the child archetype. It breaks it down into many of the different sub-archetypes, but everybody has the child inside of them because everybody was a child. So about safety and about innocence and about new beginnings and seeing things through fresh and open eyes. There's a huge opportunity for healing here regardless of how this plays out, but that you certainly do have a right to be excited if you listen with your heart. So may the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need this full moon, everything that they need to love this full moon to new moon next June 2020. So mote it be. And thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. Comment if you feel it. And wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon next, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.